My name is Mark Whitman. I'm 41 years old, a real estate agent from Richmond, Virginia. If you asked anyone who knows me, they'd say I'm loyal, steady, maybe a bit too trusting, but never foolish. That was before I stumbled upon the one thing that would break me. A leather-bound journal hidden beneath my wife's side of the bed. I've been married to Ashley for 15 years. We met at a college football game. Her bright red hair and sarcastic would have me instantly hooked. Our marriage, at least to the outside world, looked ideal. 2 kids, a cozy suburban home, frequent vacations, and the kind of affection that couples in our friend circle admired, or envied. But beneath the surface, something had shifted, and I didn't want to admit it, not even to myself. The cracks in the foundation. It started small. Ashley began staying late at her graphic design studio more often. Deadlines, she'd say, with an apologetic kiss. She was distant, emotionally distracted. Conversations that used to flow easily became short, tense. I chalked it up to stress. But when she stopped reaching for me at night, when her laughter felt forced and her phone never left her side, I knew something was wrong. Still, I ignored it. Until the night I found the journal. A leather book of lies. She was out that night. Claimed she was grabbing dinner with an old college friend. The kids were with their grandparents, so I decided to clean our room. Under the bed, buried in a box of old clothes, was a brown leather notebook. It had her name on the inside cover. I shouldn't have opened it. I know that, but curiosity and a growing sense of dread outweighed my guilt. Page after page, Ashley poured her heart out, not to me, but to herself. At first, it was just venting. Mark doesn't see me anymore. He's so consumed with work, with being the provider. I feel invisible. I winced, but then the tone shifted. One entry hit, like a sledgehammer. Last night with him was electric. I still tremble thinking about it. The way he touched me, whispered things Mark never has. We met at that little cabin near the lake. He made me feel alive again. I know it's wrong, but I can't stop. I felt the room spin. I kept reading, the pages cutting deeper with every line. And then I saw it. The guilt eats at me, especially when we're all together. Mark has no clue. If he knew I was sleeping with his brother, he'd never forgive either of us. But James, God, James makes me feel wanted. I dropped the journal like it was on fire. My own brother? James? James was 2 years younger than me, always a charming one. He was a high school gym teacher, coached basketball, never married, always had a new girl on his arm. People adored him. But me? I trusted him. We were close, or so I thought. I loaned him money when he was in a bind. Helped him move, twice. He was at every family barbecue. Played with my kids like an honorary uncle. I never imagined he'd be the man my wife would turn to when she felt unseen. I spent the rest of that night sitting in the dark, holding the journal in one hand and an old wedding photo in the other. The betrayal wasn't just romantic, it was familial. Blood and trust shattered in one blow. I didn't confront them immediately. I needed proof, something undeniable, something that neither of them could twist into a misunderstanding. Over the next week, I installed a discreet camera in the living room, just in case. I also mirrored Ashley's phone to my tablet. Not proud of it, but I wasn't going to let them keep hiding behind lies. That Friday it happened. She told me she was going to a networking mixer downtown. I kissed her goodbye and told her to have fun. An hour later, I saw it on my screen. James walking into my house. My house. They didn't even wait long. On my own couch, where we'd opened Christmas presents just months before, my wife and my brother collapsed into each other like lovers who had no shame. My stomach churned as I watched. Rage, sorrow, disbelief. Nothing covered the storm inside me. I didn't confront them that night. I waited until Sunday. My parents were hosting a birthday dinner for my dad. Everyone was there. Ashley, James, the kids, the whole Whitman clan. I could barely look at either of them. Halfway through dinner, I stood up and raised my glass. I just want to make a quick toast, I said. Everyone turned. Ashley smiled. James nodded, already tipsy on Dad's bourbon. I want to toast the family. To trust. and to betrayal. Confused glances. My mother frowned. Then I pulled the journal out of my coat and placed it on the table. Silence fell like a heavy curtain. To my lovely wife Ashley, I said, locking eyes with her, for writing such honest words. She paled instantly. And to James, my brother, for giving her something I apparently couldn't. James blinked, stunned. Were you? I turned to the rest of the family. You all might want to read the pages marked in red. They detail how my wife and my brother have been screwing behind my back for months. Ashley's chair screeched as she stood. Mark, please. You lied to me, both of you, in my home, around my kids, at family dinners. I don't want an explanation. I want distance. Permanently. The family dinner ended in chaos. My mother broke down crying. My father tried to yell at James, but couldn't find the words. Ashley ran out the door. James followed like the coward he was. I filed for divorce the next morning. Ashley begged for forgiveness, claimed it was emotional confusion, that she was vulnerable, and James was just there. I didn't buy it. James didn't even apologize. Just disappeared. Blocked me on everything. The coward couldn't even own his betrayal. My parents disowned him, said he wasn't welcome at any future family event. It brought them shame, heartbreak. My kids were confused, heartbroken. They still don't understand why Uncle James doesn't come around anymore. I spent months in therapy, trying to unpack the trauma, the rage, the guilt for not seeing the signs. But the journal? I still have it. Not out of spite, but as a reminder that blind trust can be dangerous. 1 year later. It's been a year since the day everything fell apart. I have shared custody of the kids. Ashley lives in an apartment across town. She's trying to be a better mother, and I don't deny her that right, but we're strictly civil. James? Last I heard, he moved to Florida. Good riddance. I started dating again, slowly, cautiously. Trust is hard, but I'm healing. I no longer look back with bitterness, just clarity. Because sometimes the truth has to rip your life apart so you can build something stronger. And sometimes the people closest to you are the ones holding the knife. The end.